Hi everyone. I know that I am a day late, but either way, I'm sure yesterday that you were celebrating, that you were having wonderful food, singing great songs because it was the High Church holiday, the High Church festival of the Nativity of John the Baptist. Or you were like me and forgot about the holiday, or even worse, actually, I didn't even know it existed. But it is a really important day in the church, especially historically it's been. It is on June 24th, which of course is about 6 months before the birth of Christ, or the Nativity of Christ, because St. John is 6 months older than his cousin Jesus. And the reason I bring this up is not just because the festival was yesterday, maybe we can celebrate it next year, but because in our Sunday worship, about a week and a half ago, we did a new worship service, at least for us. It's actually a really old worship service called Morning Prayer. And we're going to do it again this weekend. And in Morning Prayer, there is the longest section that I have ever chanted, and I didn't think I'd make it through, but we believe in a God of the impossible. Made it through, but this section is called the Benedictus, or the Song of Zechariah. Zechariah, of course, is the father of John the Baptist. In fact, the Nativity of St. John or John the Baptist is a really good story. It's in Luke chapter 1. And so you have Zechariah and you have Elizabeth, his wife. And they were a righteous couple. They were from a family of priests, but even though they were righteous and good, they were barren. They had no children, and they were well along in age. And the angel Gabriel comes to Zechariah and tells him that he's going to have a son. But Zechariah he knows it's impossible. He goes like, this can't be, that we're way too old. And the angel Gabriel says to Zechariah, I am Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I have been sent here to you to give you good news. And because Zechariah did not believe, the angel said, you won't be able to speak until the baby is born. Well, sure enough, Elizabeth is with child. The baby is born. And then it's time to name the baby. And everyone thinks he's going to be named after his dad, Zechariah. But he said his name, Zechariah wrote on this something. He said his name will be John. And when that happens, all of a sudden, God opens his mouth. Zechariah can speak again. And so he takes his son in his arms, the son that it never should have happened. It was impossible. So he holds the impossible in his arms, and he begins to sing a song. And the song is what we have recorded here in the Benedictus. That's Latin for blessed, but it starts out with, Blessed be the Lord. And it's a really beautiful song because it is a song of God's faithfulness. It is a song of how God can accomplish the impossible. What's really neat is that Zechariah didn't believe it could actually happen. In fact, for the most part, he was faithless. But God's promise is stronger than that. God is faithful. And again, Zechariah burst out in song when he is holding the impossible in his arms. And of course, as he sings this song praising God, he also talks about his own son who's going to point the way to the Messiah, the Savior of the world. We're going to sing it again this Sunday, the Benedictus. In fact, well, actually, I'm not going to be chanting it. We're going to have a mystery chanter, mystery preacher. It'll be great. But when the Benedictus comes, it should be about after the sermon, what I want you to do is I want you to think about your impossible. That one thing that you need to lay before God that you don't think it could ever happen. And bring it to Him. And know that God is the God of the impossible, but also know that He answers our desire for the impossible through His Son, Jesus Christ, who is the Savior of the world, and not only that, but he is a child born to us. In a sense, he is the child given to us, the child that will fulfill us. So, again, this Sunday, listen to the beautiful words, sing along, and know that God is a God of the impossible.